I'll be engaging my guests on various topics about the cultural war in the immigrant home and how to intervene. My name is Dr. Cynthia Adom-Potufi. I will be your host for the show, and you are watching Battleground. Today, we're going to be looking at gender differences and the dynamics that come with it in the immigrant home. I know it's going to be interesting because we have all ladies squad, and guys, we are coming at you. But to start off with, I wanted to ask, do we have brothers or cousins? Because we're going to be talking about gender, guys and ladies. One brother. Okay.
Zero brothers, but
Your squad.
A lot of cousins.
Awesome. Cousin Mills, yeah.
2 brothers.
Awesome. So that's very nice. So we have a perspective, we share a perspective in terms of how immigrant parents train ladies versus or sisters and brothers. So growing up, what has been the expectation from your parents, or what expectations have your parents placed on you versus that of your brothers? And expectations, chores, getting ready for marriage, anything growing up, expectations in terms of growing up in the home.
Women are supposed to wash the dishes, do the laundry, clean the bathroom, mop, sweep, anything that it's home, like a house.
Home management.
Home management, the woman should be doing it. Men are in charge of outside, so you're going to go shovel the snow. But sometimes women could shovel snow. Men should throw out the garbage. But sometimes when you're cleaning the kitchen, you should throw out the garbage too.
As a woman, right?
It's literally a blurred line.
Right.
That's how.
So, I just want to get it right. Are you saying that immigrant parents kind of define the gender roles in terms of what you would have to do, or how? You mentioned that, and then you mentioned also that it's a blurry line. So I just wanted you to clarify.
So I think women, let's say generally across the board, it should be women do the things that are in the home and men do the things that are outside. So if it's heavy lifting or heavy duty things, that's a man's job to do. But around the house, keeping the home clean, food, cooking, motherly, I don't even know how to explain that.
I know what you mean.
But things that have to do with feminine duties. Yeah, right? Feminine duties are for the women to do, which mostly happens to do with in the house. That's inside the house.
Yeah, so that is the dynamics in the immigrant home. Okay. How is that different, compared to the culture here? And again, we've not deviated from the first question, so you just can, mix it up in your response.
I think for me, because I didn't grow up with boys or brothers, my dad being the only male in the house, I had to learn a whole lot of stuff. My dad is very, much of a handyman, and so he does a lot of carpentry work around the house. And every time he's doing it, I'm holding the drill. I know different nail sets, that sort of
That's
thing.
Beautiful.
His tools, I'm the one carrying them. So I used to do a lot of those. And I guess because I was the oldest, I was his little boy, the one that he never got.
Yes.
My sisters do the kitchen work a lot. I do a lot of the kitchen work too, but whenever my dad is doing something that's supposed to be manly, I'm the one
falls on you.
I go. But I really like the fact that when I was going away to college and I had a car, he took me outside and taught me how to change my tires.
That's beautiful.
And he's like, yeah, this is how you do it. So then he made me do it myself just to show him. Because he's like, yeah, you're going away 3-4 hours away. When something happens, I'm not going to come.
Right.
So you should know how to do it before help comes. And
That's nice.
He would teach me things like that. Take me out and show me how to where to put the coolant in my car versus where the oil is and all that stuff. So I used to do a lot of those, and even till now, now that my dad is much older and doesn't do a lot of those, I can do
That's beautiful.
That work. So I think because he didn't have boys, he was sort of forced to teach the girls as well. And of course, my mom taught us everything else in the
Right.
kitchen.
I think before Stephanie comes in, I really like that, and I think sometimes parents assume we would learn these things like handy things like changing a tire and all that. But I think whether you're a girl or boy, parents should teach us like before you go to college or when you start driving. I think that's really beautiful and something that I've learned. I'm gonna tell my husband when my our first child is like starts driving.
Yeah.
You don't want them learning it from somebody else. I think we had mentioned in a previous episode that parents have to be a life coach. They have to be life coaches.
Because you meet some guys who don't know these things and then they feel
Intimidated.
by you. And I've come across that so much.
Oh,
And they're like, well, you could do everything for yourself. Why am I here? Right? And because I've been taught to do that for myself. So I have to unlearn
certain things.
Become more like helpless or and be like, my car is here, can you come
fix it for me?
I have to wait 30 minutes when I can do it. But just because he wants to feel like he's a part of your life, then you also have to suck it up and wait for 30 minutes.
That's another topic altogether. That's something, different altogether. But I get your perspective as well. Yeah.
Okay, so growing up, the pressure wasn't on my brother at all. Like, he didn't learn anything. Everything's like, you need to know this, now you need to know that, this, that, and the third. And I didn't even was even mindful why isn't anyone teaching my brother? It's only when I went to college and I see some of my college suite mates, guys that are around or whatever, they'll be cleaning, cooking. I'm like, are you serious? So guys actually cook. So I came home and my dad's like, oh yeah, Nana, take care of everything. And my brother's just sitting there
flipping channels.
Yeah. I'm like, no, we have to talk right now.
We need proper chat.
Right, because that's not fair. And I was talking to him, I'm like, yeah, so it's like, why is it that all these things that you have power packed on me is just relaxed on him? Like, where is he going to learn when he is by himself? It's going to be a culture shock.
Exactly.
So you should start. It shouldn't even matter that he's a guy. You should tell him, it's not good to not be cleaning for yourself, not be cooking for yourself. It's not even a feminine thing. A guy should know how to cook.
Exactly.
A guy should know how to clean.
Exactly.
A guy should know how to iron his clothes.
Yeah.
These are things that you shouldn't have to need a woman to do for you. So I had definitely had that conversation with my dad because that was not only was it not fair, but it's not right.
Exactly. Bible says love your neighbor as what? Yourself. And this one, it's not even your neighbor, like your brother or a sister, right? So why do you think immigrant parents do that? I think if you're a girl in the home, girls love to do stuff, like some girls. But we don't have the energy to do everything, like superwomen who can take on everything. And I think in some homes, once you're of age, your mom literally stops cooking, or minimize the incidence of cooking. And so you literally take over. So you having to cook, clean, all of that. It can be tasking. So why do you think we are in America where I believe parents see? We said in a previous episode that our parents watch TV. They get a lot of information from, WhatsApp. They see things, guys cooking and everything. Why do you think they still place so much expectation on ladies versus the guys?
I would say that for the same reason that we spoke about earlier, that they are looking for you to marry a man that doesn't have any of those things, like the Ashanti man that they want, or the Ghanaian man, because they know those Ghanaian men also are looking for what they currently are. I hope that makes sense.
It does.
So, yes, they see all men cooking on TV, but they never think that that's who you're going to marry. They're not sitting there thinking, that Italian man, that looks like what. They see him as a good man, and that's it. It never crosses their mind that, whoa, that could be my child's husband. But automatically, they are assuming you're going to marry a man like your dad or your uncle or your brother who doesn't have any of those training, and it's okay that they don't have
And you
those
should
training,
take it.
and that you should accept it and just go ahead and be the mother slave and the wife and the queen in that house.
Wow.
How can you be a queen and a slave on the same day? I
It's
mean, it
not
doesn't
possible.
work that way.
It's
Where? Which kingdom? You can't.
definitely not the African kingdom, not the immigrant kingdom. Like
No.
we want to be queens and
You
princesses.
call us queens, but you don't treat us like queens,
Right.
right? But I think it's about, like you said, that the men should be taught this. It's a big problem.
It is.
That you are training women. How can you train just half of the team to play a match?
That's true.
Who's going to score? You train the woman, you train the man. That's how you get any success.
Exactly.
You don't train just half of the team.
Team.
And then expect that
Right.
hopefully the ball will fall on the train part.
Exactly.
And then they will be the one to score the goal.
Exactly. Falls on the other side, foul.
So yes, it's not 50-50. It's
Yeah.
100%. Both
Training.
people should be coming together. And I thank my dad for that. He was able to like just balance things
That's
out for
beautiful.
me. But I think it's just because of divine providence that he didn't get a boy. So he sort of
It
did
just
for
worked
us.
out,
But,
yeah.
I appreciate what she said.
That's
I
wonderful.
agree with Iniwa and Stephanie because I think in our culture, that's just what it is. Let's say the Ghanaian culture or the African culture, the woman does things in the house. Even if you look at some people in these African countries, they still live in pre-colonial ages where the women don't even work.
That's true.
They'll be home waiting for the man to bring them money before they go to the market.
Exactly.
You know, but like you said, the dynamic in this country is very different. The woman could be going 9 to 5, the man's going to 9 to 5.
Exactly.
They both come home and you expect
At the
me to
same
cook
time.
for you too. Maybe you even come home at 3. Cook something, let us all eat.
Exactly.
No, it's a different dynamic. So I think our parents are training us like how they were trained. They were trained for that.
Right.
But we have to help them, or even they know. But it's just like, if I'm trying to train my daughter up to be married, all I could give her is the information I was given.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to give her anything else because that's just
what you know.
yeah, what you know is what you give. So
Yeah. Isn't it?
Something
Go
too
ahead.
that I wanted to touch on. Even when your husband helps you in the house, they tell you that when friends come over, don't let him do those things.
I've heard that before.
It's
Whoa.
wow.
Don't let people see that.
Don't
he's
let
doing
people
that.
see that
Or
he does laundry.
Go through the back.
He washes the dishes. You've never heard it? Because my auntie say it all
Yes.
the time. Like, even if he helps you,
Don't-
don't let people see it.
Do it
So
secretly.
it's like, wait, I appreciate him because he helps.
Exactly.
But the world is going to, the world in their eyes is going to see him in a different way because of that. And I think it needs to stop. like
Exactly.
yesterday.
Exactly. And I think that's why we're having this conversation. I mean, we are not saying that guys should get into the world of ladies and become ladies or vice versa. But I think what is love? Love is sacrifice. That's how I see it. And just imagine, like, you have your profession, your wife has a profession as well. You go and come, even if she doesn't, and she's even staying home with her kids. I think, think about it. You don't want a situation where your wife is always tired, and by the time she's 50, and you're also like 52 or whatever, she's so old because she's been taxed to stretch to the limit. And now you are young, strong, and all of that, and this woman is like weak. So I think this is where we are coming from. But connecting it to that, some people have that perspective that, or perception that men and women should do like 50-50 responsibility chore. Well, I mean, anytime I hear about that, I kind of giggle. What's your take on it?
I feel like it's not mandatory. If I do this, you do that.
Very
But
good.
It should work copacetically.
Very
It should
good.
Work together.
Right.
And it's funny because I was even telling my dad, like, no, my husband, he's gonna learn this, and then my dad's laughing at me like, okay, like, you're funny, like, you won't find a guy that will ever do that. But there are guys that you meet them, they will already have their stuff folded, ironed, all of these things. So it's like, oh shoot, maybe that will even encourage me to do more things. So it's definitely possible to do 50-50, but it's not like, hey, I washed the dishes, now you go and dry them. No, like, it should just work as a relationship.
Yeah, any other perspective? And then when it comes, before you even come in, the 50-50 thing we're talking about, like, I mean, we should also, I want us to put in perspective the strengths of each.
Yeah,
Right.
Multitasking. But I mean, there's a book that I read. It said men are like waffle, women are like spaghetti. We are kind of, we move, we can go anywhere. And the man is like this.
Uniform.
Structured.
If I'm cooking egg, I have to stand next to it, otherwise it will get burnt, you know.
Yeah.
But like I can cook egg, I can, you know, make jollof and, you know, be ironing, and at the same time I'll just be turning my, you know, it's like, and I'll be fine watching over the baby. Like, so I want us to put that in perspective that, you know, you can go
I was
anywhere.
actually going to say that because I believe that it's not a 50-50
Right,
relationship.
exactly.
It only becomes annoying when it's the expectation.
When it's like 1090.
Right.
When it's like you said, he comes home at 3 p.m.
Right.
You come at 7 or 8,
Yeah.
but he expects that you come.
You're
Put
waiting.
something up.
No, don't even take off your clothes. Go straight
Straight
to the
kitchen,
and find something.
right.
Whereas he's been sleeping since 3.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's the
right?
problem.
It has nothing to do with a 50-50 rule.
Right.
I actually enjoy trying to be a
That's
wife to
right.
somebody and being I'm not a feminist by any means.
No.
shape, or form. Please open that door for me.
Right.
Please do all the things.
Do
you
the
want to
queenly
do.
things. That's
Yes.
right.
I want to sit back too. However, when I'm unable to do that, accommodate. me.
Exactly.
What are you going to do when I'm pregnant?
Yeah.
What are you going to do when, God forbid, I'm in a hospital
Exactly.
for days? Are you not going to eat? Is it going to be fasting all day long? Like, you're not doing that.
Right.
So what are we doing? I'm teaching you, even if you don't know how to cook, which I've accepted that most of the guys will not. So when we are dating, sorry, Pentecost, but when we are dating, we're going to figure this out. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to go there. I'm sorry. I'll leave it there.
Oh no, you're so funny. That's so hilarious. That is so true. I mean, that is so true. Like, we can do 50-50. And I think we are all here. We are not feminists by any way, but we are Christians.
Yeah.
And I think all that we are saying is that if you love a woman, you wouldn't expect the woman to turn into a slave.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
you know, in the same way, if you're a woman, don't expect your man to come to the kitchen at your command.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, whether you like it or not, he will lose his manliness, and it's going to even affect the fatherhood role that he plays. But I think all that we are saying is that as men, it's okay for parents to train men to learn to know to do certain things at home, and there's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to hide it. If your husband is doing laundry and a friend comes in, oh, give me a second, I have to put something in the dryer and come back right now. I think the moment we start doing it, everybody keeps seeing it, we start changing our perspective and our mindset on it. So that's all that we are saying. If you know how to cook, please cook.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to cook, you can clean. If you don't know how to clean, you can do the laundry.
Yeah.
At least do something for your wife to know that you appreciate her. And I think what these young ladies are saying is that I love to cook. Like, I love to do all the woman stuff. But I feel like it's romantic when my husband steps in when he realizes that I'm tired. So that's all that we are saying. Wrapping up, I want us to touch on this. That's really dear to me.
Yeah.
What is the impact? What has been the impact of this trend in training predominantly ladies and not guys? And we are not saying all homes are like that. Please, let's be clear on it. I know some homes train the men as well, but we are just focusing more on the homes that can do better at it. How has it affected our men, our future husbands?
I feel like our future husbands have become complacent, and you see them. They're lazy just in their demeanor. You know, like, they got nothing going on for them. If they don't have a woman in their life, then it's like they got nothing going on for them.
That's
you
true.
know, they're always looking for a mother.
Mm.
I'm not coming to your life to be a mama. You already had one. I'm going to come and add something else to you.
Exactly.
So if you're looking for a mother, it ain't me, because I'm not about to fold your underwear. You can fold up your own underwear. You know, and I feel like African men, and that's why you find some African women saying, I don't want to marry my kind.
That's
Look at
true.
how my mom treats my dad. I'm supposed to do that in my lifetime, be somebody's slave. No. I'm going to go to a different culture.
Right.
Because in the African American culture, the men are cooking for the women.
That's true.
The men are, when their wife wakes up, then they've set the bed. You know, in the African American culture is different.
It's very
the men do the
opposite.
housework.
Exactly.
And then the women sit there and enjoy like a queen. But like Aniwa said, we slaves and a queen. We don't even know which one it is. We're like damsels in distress. Like we just need a man to come and save us,
goodness.
like something like that.
Right.
But that's not how
That's
it's
not
gonna.
how.
In this 2020,
Even in the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the Bible, that's not how Jesus taught us. That's not how Jesus taught us. He taught us love. He taught us understanding. He taught us empathy. So I feel like, forget about culture. Sometimes culture blinds. I mean, you see what goes on at home, and I don't think you are completely happy about it. So if you're a guy, I don't think you want to marry and say, I'm going to just fold my arms, fold my legs to my woman to do everything. I mean, we can't blame our parents because that's a culture they inherited.
Exactly.
Probably because they inherited it, and growing up, everybody was like that. They got used to it. And even with that, a lot of our mothers, women have gone through a lot of abuse. Like, they can't talk about it because they didn't have an outlet. But here we are in America. I think we're talking about all of this so that as parents, where we think our marriages, failed or our marriages didn't go so well, we can learn from our mistakes, we can learn from our challenges, and then teach our younger people, our children, how to do better. And so I think that's the whole concept that we're trying to throw light on. So once again, we've come to the end of another episode of Battleground. And thank you so much, Gladys and Niwa and Stephanie, for your amazing insight and on the topic that we handled today. And we want to thank you so much once again for joining in today's edition. And we hope to catch you once again very soon on Battleground.